Hey, what's up, party people? This is Bryan here from Unrivaled Multimedia. We are going to be talking about the Western Conference NBA playoffs in the second round. And here with me to talk about that is Brandon. He is a huge basketball fan and a huge Phoenix Suns fan, so pray for him. But I think he is definitely a great guy. Going to be doing a lot of videos. And check him out on Twitter at Brandon Condren. And Brandon, just go ahead and let's start off with the second round of the Western Conference NBA playoffs.
Yep. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. Yep. So we are here to talk about the second round of the NBA playoffs. The playoffs are in full effect. Bryan, we recently just made that Eastern Conference video. If you want to check out that video, link down in the description. Bryan, I'm going to ask you the question I asked you earlier regarding the Spurs and Thunder. It's a simple question. Was game one a fluke?
No. I think that the Spurs are just that good, and people don't realize that. They were not much worse than the Warriors this year, who put up the greatest year in NBA history.
Yep.
And I just think the Spurs are going to wipe the floor with the Thunder like they did in game one. Kawhi Leonard, who is, in my opinion, still the most underrated player, who should be second in MVP voting, I believe.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Along with LaMarcus Aldridge had a great game one. And I know that you want to talk about Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook shooting, which me personally, I just think was just ridiculous. And they put up numbers in game one at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. And that kind of leads into my second question, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The Spurs just never get the attention they deserve. If people follow my channel, my subscribers, I've said it many times, the Spurs never ever get the attention they deserve. They're a phenomenal franchise. They have a great team. And like you said, they did, I said it in a video and you kind of just said it. The Spurs did what the Warriors basically did all year, but on a different level. Would you agree with that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, just on a different level. These are two of the best teams, not just of this year, but ever, in my opinion. And I just think they're just going to be a team that is going to be very, very hard to beat. Not in a series, but just one game. Yeah. Because of how deep they are. And you're not even talking about Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili anymore. You know, the old big three now. It seems to be about LaMarcus Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard.
Exactly. And I love what you said about Kawhi Leonard earlier. He is a phenomenal player.
Yes.
Like you said, you can argue if he should be in the MVP discussion. He absolutely deserves it.
Yes.
He is 24 years old.
Oh, my goodness. The Spurs, as a Mavericks fan, I know about this.
Yeah.
This team is set up for years to come.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody realizes that. They seem to think that the Spurs are old. No, they're not. LaMarcus Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard are still young. Yep. Way after Tim Duncan retires, they'll still be good.
I've always been a Danny Green fan as well. And, you know, like you said earlier, Westbrook and Durant, they just didn't put up the numbers that they do. I mean, Russell Westbrook is a freak. He is a triple-double machine. I don't know what to say as opposed to the Thunder. They might win a game, but if the Spurs do what they did in game one, and correct me if I'm wrong here, they shot 60% for the entire game.
Yeah, that's unheard of in the playoffs. Shooting 60%.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. On my notes here, postseason franchise record for points in a quarter with 43 in the opening period.
Yeah, Thunder, you might want to work on your defense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to ask you this final question, then we'll move on. Is this a 6-game series?
No, I have it as a 4-game series. The Spurs are a team that plays the same whether at home or on the road. I know people think that's crazy. I know that the Thunder are good. I shouldn't overrate the first game, but I think that the Spurs are out here to make a statement this playoff season with the Warriors get so much attention. And LaMarcus Aldridge play with a chip on his shoulder. Kawhi Leonard is focused every game, you know. And I just think that their style is made to beat the Thunder that are very turnover prone and just you never know with the Thunder. You never know. They don't pass it to guys like Enes Kanter. They don't get it to Dion Waiters enough, in my opinion. It's just a team that's just really 2 versus 5 in Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. The Thunder do have good players, but it matters how they use them.
Yes.
And like you said, I mean, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Marcus Aldridge, Tony Parker against basically Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. I don't want to sleep on the Thunder. Like I said, they might be able to get a game, but I don't think this is a 6-game series. In the comments below, please let us know what you guys think. Beyond that, we have the very surprising, very successful story, Portland Trailblazers, who made it to the second round. They are going up against the 73-9 Golden State Warriors. So, Brian, continuing on with our favorite question, how many games in this series and who wins? In your opinion, of course.
Yes, the Warriors again in the sweep. I just think again that the Warriors are just too much for the Blazers, and it's not so much the Blazers' fault. The Warriors are just godly good. You had Draymond Green with a triple-double. Again, one of the most underrated players. I don't understand what this guy was not the MVP discussion. He had 13 triple-doubles this year. Also, Klay Thompson, you know how I feel about him.
Yep.
People just knock him and say he's not that great. He had 37 points in game one, not that bad. It was guarding Damian Lillard on the other end, who I think is the best two-way guard in the NBA. And I just don't think they have any down-low game, the Blazers. They just don't really have anybody besides Mason Plumlee. And, it's just C.J. McCollum, who definitely was the most improved player this year.
Yep.
Besides that, I just think that the Warriors are too deep. Draymond Green, Andrew Bogut, Klay Thompson. I just think Steph Curry can just sit out and wait for the Spurs, who doesn't want to see Spurs versus Warriors?
Yeah, exactly. Again, all the credit to the Portland Trailblazers. They've had a phenomenal season. They've had a great success story this year.
Yes, Terry Stotts, great coach.
Yep, I discussed it in my own video about how good Terry Stotts is, all that experience. But kind of like with the Thunder, is it just Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum? We were talking about this earlier. Damian Lillard's numbers, man, I'm looking at him right now. He's averaging 38 minutes a game, 22 points per game, but I feel like his assists are pretty low. They're at 4.6.
He's got to distribute it more.
Yeah, I kind of compared him to Kemba Walker earlier when we were talking earlier. He shot 8 for 26 for 30 points. He's got to contribute. He's got to dish that ball.
Yeah, I don't understand how you get the guys like Amina and Plumlee. They've got guys who can finish around the rim, but they just seem to just jack up a lot of threes, him and C.J. McCollum. And when those guys are not on, they get blown out like they did against the Warriors.
Yeah, but in all fairness, if they do play good, then the Blazers have a small chance
of winning a game.
Yeah, that would be it.
Yeah. Let's not get confused here. Let's win in one game.
Yep. And then honorable mention, I actually really like Alan Crabb. The more I watch this kid, I like him. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I like Alan Crabb.
No, I'm glad you brought him up, Bubba. I think that they just need to develop some guys on that team because their future is bright if they just continue to develop them as a team and don't be like the Thunder and like the Hornets, where they're just guard heavy and never get any kind of down low post play.
Yep. And then, I mentioned it in our Eastern Conference Q&A. Also, what if the Blazers are just tired from that Clippers series? I know that they didn't go as far as the Pacers, Raptors, or Heat and Hornets, but what if they're tired?
Yeah, I think that's something, too, to think about. They really had to do a lot against the Clippers, who were shorthanded, and they were just dragging probably in game one. So I am interested to see it to game two to see if they do make adjustments and come out and make it a competitive game against the Warriors, who at Oracle Arena are just, on God level.
Yeah, exactly. And I do love what you said about Draymond Green earlier, kind of like what you said about Kawhi Leonard. Yes. Draymond Green is phenomenal.
Oh.
I have watched a lot of interviews with Draymond Green. Holy cow, that guy is awesome.
Yes.
He is such a cool guy.
Yes. That guy has the character you need to win in the playoffs. I don't think people realize how big of a part he is of the Warriors.
Exactly. So Draymond Green is fantastic. I really hope the Warriors do beat the Blazers. I don't know if I want them to win the NBA title. It'd be great to see if they win the NBA title because it'd just be phenomenal. But Draymond Green is awesome. He deserves so much credit. If he's not on the All-NBA first team, I'm going to lose my mind because he is great.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. He has to be on NBA first team.
Yeah.
There is.
I don't want NBA second team. No, put him on the NBA first team.
Yes. They deserve 3 players on NBA first team. I don't want to hear it. It needs to be Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green,
Yep.
Kawhi, and LeBron. And
Yep.
LeBron, I'm sorry, people, LeBron is
Yep.
questionable. LeBron is questionable because he did did take some games off this year. So, the Eastern Conference is very weak. You can say it could be all West, honestly.
Exactly. I'm going to put you on the spot here, Brian. Just any thoughts in general of the playoffs, or anything you want to ask me, or anything you want to comment on? Anything?
Well, in the West,
free for all.
Okay. Well, in the West, I want your opinion on the Dallas Mavericks. Me being a Mavericks fan, I don't get an outside opinion. What did you think about them against the Thunder?
Well, for those of you who didn't know, I live in Phoenix. Brian lives in Dallas. We've talked back and forth in the comments section. What was your question? I'm sorry, about the Mavericks.
Yeah. How did you think the Mavericks looked against the Thunder? Them having chances to win games, especially in Game 5 and Game 4. I just want your opinion on their structured, how they just play. Them talking about Russell Westbrook and his dancing, just that whole thing. I would love your opinion on that.
Well, it's really tricky with the Mavericks, as we discussed. They did have a few injuries, but that's no reason that they still couldn't have won. I really do feel like they need to focus on their younger talent. As far as the playoff games, I think you said it perfectly. They had themselves to blame, because the Thunder kind of looked like what the Spurs did to the Thunder as opposed to the Mavericks. The Thunder just crushed them offensively. And there were so many games where it was like the Mavericks could have won, or they could have came up big on this quarter, and they just didn't do it. It was just an unsuccessful playoffs for the Dallas Mavericks, despite their young talent. They need to focus on that young talent. They need to get a draft pick, as you and I have discussed.
Yes.
Mavericks need to do a lot of work. So in my outside looking in opinion, they just need to do work. They need to get healthy, hopefully make the playoffs next year and actually go farther into the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe win around.
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
I totally agree with you that is developing their young talent. Dirk only has a year maybe left.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm serious. I mean, people seem to, especially Mavs fans, think Dirk's going to play till he's 50. And it's just like, after he retires, I'm worried about this franchise collapsing, honestly, because they seem to not develop young talent, and they seem to just let young talent go to other teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you and I have, discussed it before. It's just a matter of fact that they, kind of like what you just said, they need to focus on that young talent. Maybe they need to make a huge move. And also, it's good to get to the playoffs that amount of times. But if you're not going anywhere, is it worth it?
Yes. As I said in my own videos, playing 82 games versus 86 or 87 games, what are you really accomplishing?
Exactly. Now, for people like Mark Cuban, it's great. You have all that success. Oh, the Mavericks have been to the playoffs this amount of time.
Oh, yes. I'm tired of hearing that.
But where are you going with it?
Yes. Yes. Once you start looking into the Mavericks, they have been ousted in the first round an ungodly amount of times.
Yep.
So when you're only playing 4 or 5 more games than, like you say, your team, the Phoenix Suns, in my opinion, you're in a better position because you're going to get more talent because you have a lottery pick, and then you're going to make that big leap like teams like Portland do, or maybe a Minnesota Timberwolves next year.
Yep, exactly. So with that being said, guys, that is our NBA Western Conference Q&A discussion, if you will. My name is Brandon. I'm a huge basketball fan. Please subscribe to our channels. We're going to be doing more of these videos. Please subscribe to Unrivaled Multimedia. Brian, I'll let you take that away.
Yeah, definitely. Subscribe to Unrivaled Multimedia on YouTube, and also follow me on Twitter at crunch_TYME. And definitely follow Brandon if you are a Phoenix Suns fan. He knows what he's talking about. He's there through the rough times, the good times, whatever is going on. Devin Booker, follow that man, all right? And follow him on Twitter at Brandon Condry.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yep, subscribe to our channels. And also, sports fans, Brian does more than just NBA videos. He does MMA, football, all that. So check out his channel, please.
Yes.
Yep. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to our channels, and we'll see you guys next time.